Africa possesses abundant resources, yet it's the poorest and most underdeveloped continent on Earth. India has one of the fastest growing economies, but its per capita income is among the lowest in the world. Though China is a technology giant, its rural population risks being left behind in the explosive growth of the Internet. For many of the world's people who live in poverty, broadband connectivity can have a powerful effect on access to education and medical care. To help improve access, in 2006, the United Nations created the Global Alliance for Information and Communication Technologies and Development. Its goal, to help make Internet and wireless services accessible to people in the underdeveloped world.
If information and knowledge is the common currency of our society today, Internet is probably the most powerful entrance to that. So what we see is that these communities who are traditionally deprived of the most basic rights of spots in public schools for their children or spots in public hospitals for their children, when they have access to Internet, it's an automatic process of looking for how they can really exercise their rights as citizens and develop their communities through this new window of knowledge and information.
So I think the main challenge which the UN faces is that this Millennium Development Goals agenda of reducing poverty by half by 2015 and or similar goals in the area of health, very specific goals, health, education, environment, gender, HIV/AIDS. We realize that these will not be accomplished on the basis of traditional development approach of public sector driven development projects in developing countries.
In Brazil, for example, which is the world's 14th largest economy, 70% of the population have never accessed the Internet. And it goes on throughout Latin America and throughout other countries of the developing world, and we have to tackle that first before moving on to more advanced technologies.
We mostly work in very poor countries where the education problems are fairly basic. So it's not that often a question really of very sophisticated technology. It's rather reaching out, to more remote areas and finding the reason, the kind of technology, how really you would make use of technology because you need to get their kids into schools, you need to train the teachers, and many of these countries where we are operating actually are quite poor in are quite lacking skills of actually making use of a lot of this technology because they don't know exactly why, for what kind of purpose.
Why did it succeed? Because people were able to identify that it's not just about the entertainment. You have value-added services, which I used to work with, in terms of music, in terms of sports, but at the same time you have useful content that you can make use of your mobile phone. You have internet access. These days we have wireless internet access. You just connect your phone and you're able to work, you're able to communicate, you're able to do business abroad, you're able to share ideas, you're able to, so to say, break new frontiers, new barriers.
Internet is coming behind that, and it will grow, no doubt, and they will converge. I mean, you will have internet on the phone. So basically, you won't separate the topics. If you ask me that same question in a year or two, I think you'll ask it differently.
UN realized that we cannot do it alone, and we need to make sure that all stakeholders are together with us to bridge the digital divide. There is a gap there, and it is a business opportunity as well. There is a contribution that can be made by governments, by private sector, civil society. All needs to come in together.
no one's into this with a charity model. No one that you can find, whether it's the ITU, the UN, the World Bank, none of these agencies say, I'm just going to give you money, go do what you want to it. They want it to be an open solution, they want it to be a competitive solution, they want it to have results on the ground. And that's precisely what the Silicon Valley business model is.
The race is on in Africa to build information and communication technology infrastructure. On October 29th and 30th of 2007, leaders from Africa and around the world will launch Connect Africa at a summit in Kigali, Rwanda.